Hello, everybody. I'm PJ, and I'm your 420 pastor. I know that a lot of people sit there and they think it's untraditional, it's not godly to smoke weed and talk about God, but you know what? Let everybody be their own judgment. Everybody should be able to live their own life and be their own people. And whatever they do and whatever their opinion is not affecting my life or your life at all. This channel is only designed for people to be able to understand God on our level. Let's talk about this. So, a lot of people, they sit there and before they even get a chance to know you, they've already prejudged you only by the things that you do. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of skeletons hidden in their closets that they sit there and they bury and they wish that nobody would ever uncover. So nobody is better than anybody else. We were all born under sin regardless. And God knows your heart and he knows what you're doing. He knows your deeds. And God is not going to sit there and send you to a fiery hell if you're a good person just because you just sit there and calm your nerves a little bit. But let's talk about God. Let's talk about how amazing God is, how unique you are. I remember like coming up, I was when I was a kid, like I was coming up and I always wanted to be a pastor coming up. Always wanted to be a pastor. And I never really fell in love with traditional churches because instead of them teaching more towards relationship, they teach you more of the rules. You know what I mean? And it pushes people away from God because, you know, when you think God, you think of rules, but everybody forgets about the relationship part. You know what I mean? And I remember going to church. There's this one church I do go to because they don't preach anything but life into people. And he made a lot of perfect sense. And he was saying that, and it makes a lot of sense. If how do I put this right? All right, so if you were to have kids, right? It doesn't matter if you're in a Million Man March. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you hear your baby crying, you interact with that baby every day, you're going to be able to decipher their cry from any other cry in that crowd. Doesn't matter who it is, you coming running for your baby. Right? And it's the same thing when it comes to having a relationship with God. When you when God hears you cry and let's say, you know, when you have children, you don't only share bad times with your kids, you share the best times with your kids. When you have that relationship with God to where you share your worst and your best times, you know, with God and kind of have your own little thing going on, is different. It's different. God's gonna come running for you. I promise God is gonna come running for you when you sit there and you think that you might be, you know, suffering the hardest. You always end up making it through it. Always end up making it through it. And it ends up becoming a memory one time. Everything that you're doing right now, every breath that you just took is a memory. Is a memory. So why would, if we're made in God's image and people sit there and when they go to church, they have this unpopular opinion. I would say a popular opinion that God doesn't make mistakes. So if that was the case, then why, when there was a great flood, but he saved the hard drive. He was smart. He sat there when he set up Noah's Ark. He sat there. He saved the hard drive because he's passionate. He's not. He's smart. He's a thinker. But why would he make a covenant to Noah with a rainbow, saying that he would never do that again if he didn't feel like that was a mistake? You know what I mean? So remember that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. This is only level 1. Like, this is just the beginning. We're just making the cut right now for the next level. That's it. As long as you're a good person, you're out here and you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, don't ever let nobody is better than anybody else. Don't ever let nobody, no human person, tell you what your relationship is with you and God. Whatever you got going on between you and God, it's between you and God. Whatever they got going on between them and God is between them and God. And some of the things that might be happening in your life are happening in their life. And they might not understand because that's not where they're at in life yet. Because they don't have that relationship with God that you have. You know what I mean? So you let the spectators be the spectators. And you sit there and just keep on striving and sit there and just be the best person that you can be. And that's all I gotta say.